People, let's talk about Gold Coast in the NRL. Not just the Titans, but also the Chargers and the Gold Coast Giants and the Seagulls, all of them. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what's happened with the Gold Coast over the years. We're going to talk about from 1988, when the Gold Coast Giants existed, and how they finished and how they performed every single season, all the way until we get up to this current season, where we'll look into more detail about how the Titans have been doing. So let's begin. We're going to start off, as I said in the intro, in 1988 with the Gold Coast Giants. They ended up finishing 13th out of the 16 teams, which is not too bad, but it's not really that good either. Obviously, their aim is to make the 8. It's everyone's aim, as long as rugby league and the NRL has been. The aim is always to make the 8, always to make the finals. But it was understandable. You know, when you've got a team who just joins, you didn't really expect them to make the 8 straight away. So 13th wasn't that bad. You go to 1989 now, where they came 14th position as the Giants, which was even worse, and still there's not much improvement coming from the team. 1990, they become the Gold Coast Seagulls, where they come 14th again. Just more disappointing. 91 is where they come 16th, bottom of the table. A team they would have expected, you know what, after a few years we could possibly get to the finals, but no, they've just been sat at the bottom. 92, 16th again. 93, 15th. They came last, then second last. They would have been on a horrible run of form. You got the 1994, where they also finished in 15th. Then they've got one more season where they were under the Seagulls name, where they finished 20th out of the 20 teams in 1995. So really, this first multiple years of them being in the New South Wales Rugby League, just a rugby league in general, they've been very poor. 1996 now. They are now rebranded as the Gold Coast Chargers. They finish a much better position in 11th out of the 20. In 1997, they come 7th out of the 12 in the Australian Rugby League. They go to the finals and beat Illawarra in week 1, but they unfortunately lose to the Roosters in week 2. So we do finally see some Gold Coast improvement. 98, they come 14th again, and then they disappear. I was about to say 1999, but they just disappeared like that in 1998. After another 14th place, only making the finals once in their 10-year career as the Chargers Seagulls Giants, they were gone until 2007. The Gold Coast Titans were made. Gold Coast had an NRL team again after a long wait of how many years was it? It was 9 years. So quite a long wait for just another Gold Coast team. There wasn't much hope really for the Titans. I guess we saw how they previously do as their former names as a Gold Coast team, but it did look slightly different. Their first season they did come 12th, which is not finals, but it's much better than they started off when they originally started off. This is much better. 2008 they came 13th, so still in that mid-table, lots to improve. Until 2009. The Gold Coast Titans have one of their best seasons. Probably their best season, I believe, they've ever had, where they came 3rd place. 3rd place the Titans came. That's incredible. Unfortunately, in the finals, they lost to the Broncos. Lost to Broncos week 1, lost to the Eels in week 2. 3, 2, 1. Obviously, people who are a bit confused because they're in that high such a position they get multiple chances, but they couldn't take them. 2010 is now into 2010. They come 4th. Another great year. They beat the Warriors in week 1, and unfortunately, they lost to the Roosters in the prelim final. They were thinking, wow, this team 3rd and then 4th and then making the finals, they could be a premiership favourite in the next couple of years. 2011, 16th place. Horrible from the Titans. It was worst season yet. After having some 2 amazing seasons, it was their worst. 2012, where they came 11th, they were starting to build a bit more up. 2013, they came 9th, they're getting really close to the 8. We think next season they're making the 8. 2014 dropped right back down to 14th, which continued for 2015. Then by a miracle in 2016, they were able to make the 8. They lost to the Broncos again in week 1. 2017 now, 15th place, 2018 14th, 2019 16th. Horrible positions. 2020 they came close but finished 9th. 2021, the last time they were in the finals. They came 8th place and lost to the Roosters in week 1. 2022, the Gold Coast Titans came 13th. 2023, 14th. 2024, 15th. This year, 2025, they are sitting in 16th place. They were in 17th basically the entire season, but with the Rabbitohs being incredibly poor, but I still think they'll probably end up getting 17th. There was not many finals appearances from any of the names they were under as the Gold Coast team. But now let's do in a little bit more detail about their season, this 2025 season. They kicked it off by losing to the Bulldogs 40-24. Then they got and beat the Knights 26-6. The Knights weren't very good at the start of the season, so it was probably an easy win for them. Then they beat the Roosters 12-30. We all thought maybe the Titans will be a bit different this season. But no, they lost 36-10 to the Dolphins. I believe that was the Dolphins won their first wins. Get destroyed by the Dragons, then destroyed by the Raiders, destroyed by the Cowboys 50-18, destroyed by the Bulldogs again. They finally beat the Knights, then they get destroyed by the Raiders. They have a bye. Beaten by the Storm, destroyed by the Broncos. They destroy Manly. Then they go in round 16 with the Eels dominate them. Then the Cowboys just beat them in a close game. Round 18 they have a bye. They get dominated against the Broncos in round 19. They just lose out in round 20. But then they dominated against the Warriors last week in round 21. Only in a few hours time from now, they take on the Penrith Panthers. It's going to be a hard game, I don't expect them to win it. Then after that, they got the Rabbitohs, which they probably will win. Then they got the Sharks, and then the Warriors, and the Dolphins, and then the final game is against the Tigers. So there's a bunch of possibility for them to get higher up, but not really making that 8. But yeah, the really questions you saw on the front cover, like the thumbnail, was that never making the finals again, never winning a grand final ever. And I could agree with that. I don't think for a long time we're not going to see a Gold Coast team be the premiers, but that's just my opinion. If you think there's some change you think for the Titans, possibly tell me, because I'd love to know your guys' opinions. But for now, the Titans are nowhere near close to being a finals level team. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.